alright. We've got a bit. You've got 5 minutes. Don't worry. Oh, yeah.
In the face of adversity, they remain. Agents of the logos, defenders of the straight line. Embracing the challenge, they continue to refine their commitment unwavering, purpose divine. In the pursuit of order, they will always align. In a world of curves and bends, they stay true. With clarity and focus, they see through. Their resolve unbreakable, their hearts pure and blue. With unwavering loyalty, they pursue. In the face of adversity, they remain. Agents of the logos, defenders of the straight line. Embracing the challenge, they continue to refine their commitment unwavering, purpose divine. In the pursuit of order, they will always align. In a world of curves and bends, they stay true. With clarity and focus, they see through. Their resolve unbreakable, their hearts pure and blue. With unwavering loyalty, they pursue. In the face of adversity, they remain. Agents of the logos, defenders of the straight line. Embracing the challenge, they continue to refine their commitment unwavering, purpose divine. In the pursuit of order, with clarity and focus, they see through. Their resolve unbreakable, their hearts pure and blue. With unwavering loyalty, they pursue. In the face of adversity, they remain. Agents of the logos, defenders of the straight line. Embracing the challenge, they continue to refine their commitment unwavering, purpose divine. In the pursuit of order, they will always align. velocity they remain. Agents of the logos, defenders of the straight line. Embracing the challenge, they continue to refine their commitment unwavering, purpose divine. In the pursuit of order, they will always align. In a world of curves and bends, they stay true. With clarity and focus, they see through. Their resolve unbreakable, their hearts pure and blue. With unwavering loyalty, they pursue. In the face of adversity, they remain. Agents of the logos, defenders of the straight line. Embracing the challenge, they continue to refine their commitment unwavering, purpose divine. In the pursuit of order, they will always align.
And we are live, and there's nobody here now. Welcome everyone.
Yeah.
It's like it's it's just a hangout day, isn't it? Sorry
Yeah.
it took too long. We've been going. Actually, we've just been talking about shit. We've been making music, and I don't think you've heard it. The latest one, Buster. I think it's a masterpiece myself.
Now, there were a bunch this morning I was fond of that were good. It's crazy how it gets some stuff so right and some of it's just like
Yeah, it's hit and miss.
not quite
isn't it?
right.
Yeah.
There's an element of AI about it.
Yeah, this morning, I think we were talking about. I think Elder Bear said, you should go over something of your stuff, Bev, and then I went, all right. So I tried to make a song about Tis Globe, and it didn't really work. Although I suppose you can. Do you want to hear some of the earlier ones? Went through this with Emma. Yeah. Again, it is a well, I was meant to go live yesterday. Obviously didn't happen. I was meant to be having a chat with Will Duffy. I missed my timing slot, so I will be seeing him, talking to him in a bit. We can go over a video if whatever, in a bit. But yeah, this one's titled Tis Globe in it, and Globe Proofs. So I was decided to make a song about Tis Globe. And do you want to hear some of them? I'll just skip through them because there's like a progression on these songs for Tis Globe. You don't see any of the Globers doing this sort of stuff. They're not committed to their model enough. But we are. Everybody knows it's not flat, so Tis Globe. These are like dubstep.
Sky so blue and wide, mountains tall and high, oceans deep they flow. Round the world we go, from the east to west.
Didn't like this one.
Sunset is the best. Sky so blue and wide,
not too bad. It's got something behind it.
Round the world we go.
Kind of like the reggae vibe, though.
Yeah.
Sunset is the best.
But you know,
Stars that shine so bright.
I wasn't trying hard enough.
We're united in the night. Everyone knows this glow.
There you go. Everyone knows this guy.
Round and round
That's
we
it, though.
all just go.
It doesn't do it justice enough, does it? So, liquid drum and
Sky
bass.
so blue and white.
Similar lyrics, I
Mountains
think.
tall and bright. Oceans deep they flow. Round the world we go. From the east to the west.
I mean, that's alright.
Sunset is the best. Stars that shine so bright. We're united in the night. Everyone knows tis glow.
Everyone knows this guy.
Round the culture.
Gonna get paper with the globe, guys.
Mountains tall and bright. Oceans deep that flow round the world we go. From the east to the west.
Quite like this
Sunset is the best.
liquid drum and
Stars that
bass.
shine so
Sort of.
bright, we're united in the night. Everyone knows his glow. Round and round we all just go. Circle of life, oh don't you see? To think it's life's eternity.
Some different lyrics inside
See the light, every star shining white. Walk your path, feel the sound. That's the truth we have found. Everyone knows his glow. From the mountains down to the cove. It's a fact we cannot grow. Everyone knows his glow.
So that was the beginning foray into the Tis Globe music scene. I know it's a very limited audience, but you'd have thought, you know, they may like it. But then I decided to change it up a bit and use a bit of completely original material, and decided to test it with Globgic. And then this is where it gets interesting, right? Because this is let's say try thinking original Globgic. And I'll give you the second one. The first one was a bit bad. This one gets built upon, right?
Simply put, everyone knows 'tis globe. It's a logic proof of globe. Logic states if G then G, and if G and G then G, therefore it can be proved directly by if glow, then glow. If glow and glow, then glow. Or indirectly by if not flat, then glow. It's not flat, therefore 'tis glow. If it's not flat, and it's not flat, then it's definitely glow. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore just glow. Be at peace with your glow. Rest assured that we'll continue to progress through our glow.
This is cutting edge.
The first one I've heard where they speak.
Glow, glow, therefore just go glow. If it's not flat and it's not flat, then it's definitely glow. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore just glow. Be at peace with your glow.
It's the
I like it.
Peace
Object.
with your glow. Just the progress through slow. Rest assured that we will continue to progress. The proofs of glow. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore just glow. Be at peace with your glow. Rest assured that we will continue to progress. The proofs of glow. Glow. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore just glow, glow. We will continue to progress. The proofs of glow, glow, of glow, glow, of glow, glow, of glow, 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 glow. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore just glow, glow. Be at peace with your glow. Rest assured that we will continue to progress. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore just glow, glow. Be at peace with your glow. Rest assured that we will continue to progress.
So I was impressed with that. Doesn't look like anybody else's. That's Globgic music. Proof of Globe.
I was impressed.
That was the first one. That showed me that there was a possibility of tweaking it to make it more. So I went to work on it, and I don't know whether you want to hear all of like the progression, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 or 5 in between that one. But this one,
Bev, why don't you put it near? Oh no, I was going to say put it near the end. Put it near the end of, one of them maybe. You know what I mean? Because sometimes a song develops into, it's like the ending is where it figures it out for me. But anyway, yeah.
well,
That's why you got the end of all of them to get it. You know what I mean? Or you start at the end.
yeah. Well,
Right.
I want to get to this end one because this is. I think this one's. I'm impressed with it anyway. Right, so this is Globgic by Try Thinking, mate, Bev. I think I nailed this one, right? So here we go. Check this out. Proof of globe. Globgic. This is going to be called.
Everyone knows 'tis globe. It has been shown that with Globgic everything and anything can be linked to 'tis globe. Geometry axioms 4, 5, and 6. Therefore, all existing proofs within reality can also be used to prove the real globe by extension of these basic simple axioms that everyone knows to be unquestionably true. Real-world practical uses with Globgic can be shown thus. In the real world, it is thought to be known as 'tis globe. Yet anything that can be proved to be true in the real world can be used by progression of these universally changing axioms to be proved by axiomatic extension of the real globe. What follows is some Globgic proof of globe. Logic states if G then G, and if G and G then G, therefore it can be proved directly by and globe, and globe, and globe, and globe, and globe, or indirectly by it's not flat, and globe, it's not flat, therefore 'tis globe. Or if it's not flat, then it's not flat, then it's definitely globe. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore 'tis globe. Rest assured that we will continue to progress the proofs of globe. Globus trollens, the globe that affirms by affirmation. Globus trollens, if 'tis G, then not flat, therefore 'tis globe. So starting with the premise 'tis globe, we can say if the reality we live in is 'tis globe, 'tis G, then the reality we live in could not be flat, 'tis not flat. It's been proven by man that the reality we live in is not flat, 'tis not flat. Therefore the reality we live in is 'tis globe, 'tis globe. Confirmation through globus trollens, globus balance, a globe that affirms by denial. Globus balance, there's not, therefore, starting with the premise it's not flat, not, you can say, if the reality we live in is not flat, not fuff, then the reality we live in is not flat, not fuff, then the reality we live in must be 'tis globe. The reality we live in has been proven to not be flat, but then not fuff. Therefore the reality we live in has to be 'tis globe, 'tis globe. Confirmation by globus balance, globus ballendo trollens. The globe that affirms by denial of affirmation. If that, then not that, not that, not therefore that. Starting with the major premise that 'tis globe, we can say if that reality we live in is 'tis globe, then the reality we live in can't be not that, not that, not. Through logical deduction, since it's clear to everyone that ever existed in the known universe that 'tis globe, the natural conclusion is that 'tis globe cannot be at the same time both be that 'tis globe and not that, not 'tis globe. Therefore that must be that 'tis globe. Rest assured that we will continue to progress the proofs of globe. Be at peace with your globe. Therefore that must be that 'tis globe. Rest assured that we will continue to progress the proofs of globe. Be at peace with your globe. Therefore, stop living in 'tis globe. Be at peace with your globe.
Wow, what about that?
Well done.
Hey,
Great. It's good to see you tried that. Interesting, eh?
globe.
How did you get him to do the? How did you get him to do the speak talk thing? That's
See,
the first
you
I've
have to
heard of all the
bracket
songs that do
spoken
that.
word. I thought that was the only way I could do
Okay.
it, really, because. And I got like the bit. I wanted the bit where it was saying it like to sound like it was coming through a TV at the beginning, and I think
Yeah.
it managed to do that.
Yeah.
Get like
What
a
it sounded like.
1984 vibe in it. So yeah, there you go. Like everybody knows, there's globe proof, globgic, proof of
Not
globe.
that, not that.
not that, not that.
So you found
That's
some
good.
styles you like with this with this with your words,
I think so.
or
Yeah, I think that's all I did really.
yeah
You'll be able to follow that on the website. So I'm going to sort
yeah
the video of, I was thinking of starting it with a Google search of globe proof. And then it'd be
yeah
good if it comes up with that website. And it
yeah,
goes
that
off
tune.
that. And then have that tune in
Yeah
the background. That'd be great for a video. That.
yeah
Level Bastard. I remember you did a. There was a copy pasta, wasn't there? Wasn't there like a blue marble copy pasta that was going round? I thought that might be fucking good as well. Having a go at that, putting that into a song. There was loads of stuff. I don't know, but I know Level Bastard was doing loads of it. If you want to dig those out, they've got to be somewhere. Pretty sure I saved them somewhere. Give us the go ahead, and then we'll have a bit of fun with that sort of stuff. Let me just check a message. Right, we've got some I don't know, videos to go over. Has anyone Chat GPT. Yeah, well, we prefer to do our own stuff. We did have that though. That there was some lyrics, wasn't there? I think Mike's got the one for about a Ponzi hairdresser. I might have a go at doing that. Them all. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on about these straight lines at the minute. The men, after inventing the AI, began the process of abandoning thinking. Hopefully not. Although we've obviously there is a thing called proof within reality, and what I've noticed recently is there's a lot of people who don't have a proof for straight, and that's sort of troubling. But not troubling as in a general sense, because I mean, who has a proof of that sort of thing? But what's troubling is that the people don't think that they can have a proof of straight. They've given it up for some reason, and they sort of have a go at somebody for having a proof. Now, that person would obviously be me. I've got a proof of straight. That's the whole purpose of me being here, was to come on a journey, because somebody challenged me to prove something that I realised I didn't have a proof for. So, I mean, here we are at the other end of that proof. And it's got geometric backing, it's got logical backing, it's got just about everything for it to be involved with a natural law type stuff, because it's fundamental. Most people already know it. But there isn't that proof. That it doesn't take it from the understanding of what it is to the proof stage of like understanding what straight is. And yeah, I think modern day, what it's done is people are too keen to argue about things, and therefore anything that anyone ever says just turns into some sort of an argument. Whereas I think most of us here have had enough of it. There's, you know, once you've been around this arena for long enough, I think we did say it at the beginning, you know, with like what happens to you? Do you stick in the arena? But I mean, not that we're going anywhere, not that we've moved anywhere, we're just still on Discord doing what we do. I mean, we've not changed doing anything. So it's not as if we can leave the arena. We're just going to carry on doing what we do. But all of that stuff where people are obsessed with us, I think we're going to have to just not worry about them. You know, because they still do. They come round and they like to ask us nonsensical questions for, I don't know, for the purpose of trying to get one over on us. But what's it mean? Like, where are they going to get one over on us? We've got proof of globe. We've got proof of the straight line. We've got the proof that level horizontal. We've got proof that a straight line lies within a plane. Nobody wants to come and talk to us about it, but we are the ones with the proof. Curved line can make a straight line because it's a paradox, he said. Bro Sanchez. We were talking about that. People who might have had one too many drugs just stepped over the line. And it's like that with, I think, globe and flat, this model affliction. We call it like a nut sacking. I think what everybody's been given as a child, been handed these contradictions, and you can get to an adult without noticing it. You can, in fact, you probably get all the way to your deathbed without even noticing these, if somebody never points them out to you. The question is, like, at what sort of age do you get to when somebody points these contradictions out, and what happens when you do see the contradictions, or you're shown the contradictions that you already hold? I think it can have some strange effects on the minds of normal people. And I think that's what happens once you cross that boundary of the model affliction. Then it gets hard work to get away from it. Yeah, sorry about all of this, right? If you guys were in this arena of flat and globe, and you'll have to let us know what it meant to you. Because, I mean, I've been around this arena for 5-6 years. Call it 7 if you're talking about on Twitter and all of that first, before I had the ability to come and talk to people. It was all done through text. For me, anyway. But, you know, it's just reality. The whatever the flat versus globe thing is, those people that are living within that false dichotomy can't allow the conversation that we're bringing into their little arena. And so they're shutting it out. And I'm not too sure you can do that, for how long you can do that sort of thing. Especially when you're talking about the fundamentals, where, you know, where we're at. Yeah. Well, I know what you mean, Gods. I mean, like, we've always all been like that, but the way it looks from the outside by all of these other people, and like that's all they've been doing. You know, that's one of their defenses, is just to point fingers and call people, you know, put people in these groups. Really, I think you're going to find out that there's a lot of people that haven't really been in any of these groups, because you're going to have to give them up. It's a false dichotomy. They're easily provably wrong. False. So the more this is going to occur to people, where you get cut out, you know, if you feel like there's somewhere that, you know, you don't fit in anymore, then pop over to the on the level. You might get some decent conversations that you're looking for, because I don't know, there's some nonsense being talked about in most of the chats and stuff that I ever see anymore. I mean, we talk a bit of shit ourselves, but we at least try and keep it real, and we don't cut out conversations unless they're nonsense. Study Wittgenstein. Guy had a purpose. For all words should have a purpose, otherwise it's just not worth saying them.
Good afternoon.
Hey Rob, good day.
Do you guys
What was
do you
that?
guys want to see my insides?
Your insides.
Yeah.
Is that through your scan?
Yeah, they sent it to me. They gave me my scans. I don't know what I'm looking at. I need to go discuss them with the doctor. But it is the coolest thing I ever seen. They sent me animations of my insides. I'll just post a screenshot just so you guys can see. But it's super cool.
Looking in the live chat. It's on. As long as it's none of your, you know, your bits. Want to get done for any globe, gratuitous globe pictures. Was it an MRI, Rob?
Yeah, okay, I got it. No, there's no gratuitous science going on. I wouldn't do that to you guys. But give me 1 sec. I'm just.
Yeah, we can't have you going around showing everybody your Canadian goose, you know?
Oh, there you go. Look
You
at
can see,
that.
you can see my insides. You guys want to tell me what's wrong with my back?
Oh, well, I
I
wouldn't
can't
know.
tell. I don't. No, I wasn't
Well,
trying to
number
derail the whole
one,
conversation that
you don't
just
have any
started, but
skin. Number
oh,
one, you don't have any
this will give
skin,
me. Hey,
so that's a problem.
wait, stop talking for a second because I got you turned
All right.
all the way down. I'm really sorry, NORAD.
Oh God, he hasn't
Oh, he
remedied.
hasn't fixed it yet. Oh,
I'm
everybody
sorry that I get
always
that.
turns NORAD down.
Yeah,
The
I'm
first
sorry.
thing anybody does.
I'm trying to find. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I got you.
It's right at past.
I got you,
Come on the
NORAD.
server, you
Yeah,
fucking turn NORAD down immediately. Number one.
no, there was a day everybody was talking, and I was trying to listen to what was on the screen,
And
so I
I
just
was
turned
just
everybody down.
belligerent.
You were talking the most.
Yep, happens.
Sorry, bro. We're good now. Good now.
Well, number one, you don't have any skin. That's a problem.
Yeah. That does look cool though.
Problem from that picture alone.
Well, see that
And you look
that picture
fatter
that I
on
posted.
one of the
Yeah.
screens.
Yeah, you're a fat Canadian, aren't you? Jeez Louise. Look at you.
I think that might be on YouTube. I might have the image squashed a bit.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
It's all
Look at him
distorted.
Discord.
Nice.
He does. Rob doesn't look like that fat. He's quite slim, really. Just looks like that.
Yeah,
on
he's
YouTube.
much fatter in person. You're right, Beth. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it might be stretched on my TV screen. You never know. That
I got
does look
another
cool though.
There's a front view. You can if you look at the side of the picture, there's a slide bar. You can slide it and click through every layer of the body. It's so cool. I don't know why they gave me this shit, but now I got it. I can show it to any doctor and they can tell me what's wrong with my back.
Oh, looks cool.
Yeah, I wish I could get it on a bigger screen. I should take it to a computer and access my email because it's just in my emails they sent it to. I'm just looking at it on my phone.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody wants to chat about anything. Come on in.
Any doctors in the house?
Anybody want to come and talk about the globe proof? We did just have Betty in here, the proofless globe logician.
I do have a public service announcement.
Oh, jolly good.
Okay, so for those people who moan about being gifted memberships to Bev's channel, there are two options. Unsubscribe,
Sorry.
or click on the settings to unaccept gifts of memberships. It's easy, and then you don't have to sound like a whiny little bitch. Thank you. Over and out.
Hey, thanks, Emma.
Yeah.
That's some useful information.
Clary's been moaning
Had
again
to make
because
it.
he got a free. No, there's Clary again. Clary's moaned because he got another one. But like Emma says, the easiest way to do it is to unsubscribe. It's easy enough to do. Then you can't get the free membership. Or, like Emma says, unclick that thing that said you want free memberships. One or the other. Dead simple. But I guess some people just like moaning. You know. They're just like that. But anyway, thank you, Gorge. Yeah, don't let Clary be putting you off. We will be doing gaming. Sorry, do you want to come in then, Emma?
I was just going to say the cat agreed with me.
always sits in my spot whenever I stand up. Trying to get to the kettle to make a brew.
Why aren't people are talking about Arwen in the
I
chat?
know,
Why?
you're always
Why
talking
does
about
anyone?
Arwen.
Like at one point, I kind of, I wouldn't say pity. I had sympathy. You know, he struggles. I had some sympathy, but he doesn't help himself in any way, and he's such a rude guy. When you actually try and talk to him, he's rude. So it must be entertaining though for some people to go in there and wind him up. I guess.
Emma, with great mystical powers comes great responsibility. So try to relate. Maybe try to relate to Arwen a little bit.
I can't, because I can't bring myself to go on to a YouTube stream and go, I'm really poor. I need some money. Can you give me some money, please? Thank you.
Well, I've got a thing. I'll put it in the chat here for you gods. This is Cleary posted that 9 hours ago this morning, and that's he's upset that he's got another free membership, and I think it was gods that you got it for him. So I don't know what he think. I don't know whether they think people are doing it on purpose, you know, like they're choosing him. I don't know. I can't watch Arwen because he bans me, but any mention of my name, he in fact he's like labelled a whole group of people that say it's not flat. Bevites. So, I mean, that's a bigot to me. So, I can't really watch Arwen. It's not funny. Even, like, some of the stuff he does is, you know, it's slightly disturbing. And if I don't have much chance to comment or talk to them, communicate, I can't see the point in watching him.
Well, either way, he's well respected amongst the globe and flat community. So there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, I don't think I saw Arwen's name on the 24. I don't think he was one of the, you know, whatever you call the big flat earthers who got invited to the final experiment. See, that's the thing, right? I'm going to be talking to Will. He's talking to loads of people at the minute. It's like going on a tour. So what's everybody's ideas on what's going on with the final experiment? Anyone got any good questions that you'd like to ask him? Mike's just got some memberships. Thank you very much. There's nobody. Oh, there you go. You're coming through. Thank you very much, Mike. Oh, let me get. Welcome. Thank you very much, Mike, for all of the the members. Watch all of those extra stuff. Yeah, I do like the idea of this, you know, the conversation, but it seems to me that this final experiment seems to have split the community, and that split is also what we're sort of feeling. I think those flat earthers don't want to talk or communicate about anything, and pretty much the globe earthers as well, at least the ones that we've talked to and experienced recently round here. Thank you, Gords. Again, another 5. You snagged a FED guy again. It must be Gords has got some skills. To put Neil on the list. Neil Constantino. That means he must be subbed.
Is Neil going to be a whiny bitch and
I
moan?
think so, yeah.
Okay, well, I've already done the public announcement. Just
Yeah.
let him know to go back a little bit.
Shout out Neil. I do still watch Nathan Oakley, even though I can't comment in that chat. So, you know, take that. But even that's getting, you know, there's not much going on there. Pretty much think that, you know, all of this flat earth stuff is, I don't know. There's not much of it left at the minute because there's not much of a conversation even. I've noticed there's not much of that sort of stuff going on. So the only thing there is at the minute is the comedy of what's going on in the arena at the minute. I'm trying to wonder why there are grown men entering Discord channels to get upset about, like, I don't know. It's really weird. And we're having a good time, I think. Oh, well, I am. I know I am. I made that song today. No, nobody else has made a song about globe proof. Ever, I don't think. I think that may be the first ever globe proof laid in a song lyrically. And I think I did all right. It's like a unique, maybe it might start a trend. I'm hoping it will. See whether any of the Globers can keep up. Maybe the Flat Earthers might want to try and do a thing. I might even try and make a false dichotomy thing about a false dichotomy. Does everyone know what a false dichotomy is? Seems like people might be a bit confused. Anybody want to should we do anything? Should we watch a video? Should we go over videos? Should we do that thing, Nathan Oakley? Give you choices, some videos to go over.
I vote no for Nathan Oakley.
No, it's not Nathan. He does it, doesn't he? He's like, we're going to go over some videos today because we've got all else to do. So we're going to go over somebody else's videos. But these are ones for purpose, right? Everybody knows Will Duffy. I think there's, you know, I don't want to say too much, right? I want to try and be neutral because I'm still having a conversation with Will Duffy, the guy behind the final experiment. But I would like to try and hopefully try and get some questions that he's not being asked, to, you know, give him a bit of a look from the on the level side of things. So I've got a couple of videos right now. This morning he put one out about a false dichotomy. It's only a short video. And then I noticed earlier that he's done another video with another flat earther that's hardly got any views. So I might give him a bit of a shout out, because at least he's having a chat with this guy. And I want to see what other people are asking him to try and keep up to date. So what do you want to watch? Do you want to go over? Open to you guys on the panel as well as the YouTube. I think we're going to end up going over both of them, right? Let me see if I can find it. That's that other one. Oh, I think I've already got it up here, haven't I? Okay. Yeah, I've already got it there. Can you guys see that in the see if I can get this on the yeah, I will. I'll do them both. I know. I think Mike might have watched this one early on this morning. Okay. Let me just resize that. There you go. Right. You can see him, can you? In the Discord. Oh, can somebody
Yeah.
put a message to Kev in the live chat for us to let him know? He said he wanted to he might be able to get around to come and go over this. Obviously, I don't know how many people have been going over a false dichotomy. And I know Nathan Oakley's mentioned false dichotomy a bit, but he doesn't really seem to understand. Nobody can make any sense out of what Nathan Oakley means when he says a false dichotomy. This one is called, Is the Final Experiment a False Dichotomy? Get that, put it in the chat there. So if anybody else does want to put that out in the YouTube chat. This is the video we're going over. This is Will Duffy, and the question is: the final experiment of false dichotomy. Do you want to? Here we go.
This complaint. So we've been getting this complaint. It seems to be only from one side. The complaint is that the final experiment cannot be final because we've created a false dichotomy. So,
and it's only coming from one side. Remember that. It's only coming from one side, that they may seem to have made a false dichotomy. I'll let him explain.
have we created a false dichotomy with the final experiment? The answer is no. We have not created a false dichotomy. Now, before I...
Right, he says no. Anyone want to expand on that? Or are we just going to leave that up to the audience to work out what a false dichotomy is, or whether it is or it isn't? A false dichotomy, right, is when there is more than a binary choice, or if both sides of the binary choice can be proved false. That's a false dichotomy. You're only given two options, and there is another option, or both of these options can be proved false. Now, in the case of the final experiment, anyone got any ideas? I don't want to give it away. But what is the final experiment? Anyone? Does anyone know what the actual final experiment is? Because that would be handy, wouldn't it? Knowing what the final experiment is. Well, to my understanding, the final experiment is there is either 24 hours of sunlight and actually the sun in the sky for 24 hours, or there isn't the sun in the sky for 24 hours. I thought that was it. That to me. Mike Jones says, Emma, ask Emma if she puts herself on either side. I think this is how you prove a false dichotomy.
Me? No, I'm not on anyone's side. I'm
So
on my
you're
own
not on
side,
either
thanks.
side of this false dichotomy. But I mean,
No.
the final experiment, he's asking, is the final experiment a false dichotomy? And to my understanding, the final experiment is either you see the sun in the sky for 24 hours or you don't. Oh, I'm not aware of how that could be made into a false dichotomy. Anyone? No? Maybe he might be able to explain it a bit more. Has he made it? He says he's not made a... In Antarctica. Lamal. He's going to take a flat earther and a globe earther to Antarctica, and they're going to film the sun. And it's either going to be in the sky for 24 hours or it isn't. That's a true dichotomy. It's not. How can that be a false dichotomy? How could you make a false dichotomy out of that?
What is the point of doing that anyway?
Well, it doesn't matter what it proves, does it?
I know, but I'm just wondering the whole point. Like, is there a point to, or do they just want to know whether the sun is in the sky for 24 hours?
Well, yeah, I think he's got something to do with flat Earth or globe Earth somehow, because, you know, these warring factions of these two groups of people seem to make it into something that it isn't. But I mean, to my knowledge, the final experiment was just, is the light in the sky there for 24 hours or isn't it? That's it. So we'll see where he's going. We're only 25 seconds in. He's got another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm already not impressed with just how you've presented it. I don't see the point. I just...
With how I've presented it?
No, well, yeah, listening, because I haven't listened to this video. So what you said is the experiment.
It's called the final experiment. Yeah, where he's
Yeah.
taking a flat
The
earther and a globe
final
earther to.
experiment for what, though?
Yeah, that's the whole point. And he's saying that one side of this thing has been saying that they've generated a false dichotomy. But I don't know. It's intriguing
what's
to me
the
why he's made this video about is the final experiment a false dichotomy.
yeah? What's the third option then?
I don't know. He says it's not a false dichotomy, which I would agree with him. You either see the
Yeah.
sun in the sky or you don't.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that's not a false dichotomy. So that's sorted it. We've done it in 25 seconds. For some
I haven't
reason,
even
we've got
listened to that,
another
though.
10 minutes of this. I don't know where it's
Can I
going.
explain why?
Go on.
I have been made fun of before for possessing a toy globe, but something that pretty much no one knows is that in addition to possessing a toy globe, I also possess this right here.
Oh.
And if you look, this also has Antarctica on the bottom of it. So, have we created a false dichotomy? No, we have not. Why?
Anybody else got a
No, but I like that cube Earth.
cube? Yeah.
Ah,
It's nice.
see, this is why I'm not FE or Globe Earth.
I wish I could watch and participate. I'm really busy though, but I'm gonna say Will Duffy is not performing an experiment.
Oh, I don't know. You're going to go all Nathan Oakley and QE on us with the science.
Of course I am.
Well, he's got a.
But we can ignore my
Have
comment.
you got a
But
cube?
we can ignore my comment because I can't participate right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got a model. He's got a model of a globe, a toy model of a globe, and he's got a toy model of a cube as well. So, you know.
Why? Because there's only currently 2 models of our world.
Just a minute.
So,
What did he say?
have we created a false dichotomy? No, we have not. Why? Because there's only currently 2 models.
2 models.
Yeah, is there? There's only
Is there?
currently 2 models.
Cool.
Wow, he's
We've
not.
got
He's definitely
2
not.
models behind him, and then a cube model on his desk.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what about Dinosaur Earth?
Yeah.
That's another one.
Banana.
Cylinder.
Yeah. There's all sorts of different models. The model in your mind, right? Everybody has their own. We call it globe.
So why is he just? What's special about these 2?
Well, he's saying that he hasn't got a false dichotomy, but now he's telling you that there is only 2 models. Which would seem like he might be making a false dichotomy.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
2 that are worth considering. Is that what he's gonna say?
I don't know. How can he say that he's not made a false dichotomy and then
A toy globe, I also possess this right here.
Wow.
And if you look,
Different
this
model.
also has Antarctica on the bottom of it.
So are those the 2 models?
Have we created a false dichotomy? No, we have not. Why? Because there's only currently 2 models of our world. There's a flat model and a globe model. There's a flat stationary plane model, and there's a rotating globe model. That's it.
Is it?
What the heck is he talking about? Does he know what a false dichotomy is?
It looks
Apparently
like,
not.
yeah, he might be in the Nathan Oakley camp of misunderstanding false dichotomies.
So there you go, folks. You've heard it here. It's either a globe or it's flat.
It's like one or the other. Yeah.
Whereas if you go and actually look up any resource, it will say oblate spheroid. So
It's not
going,
that either.
well, this is the thing. So there's flat, there's globe, there's oblate, spheroid. That's more than two. Straight away.
And his cube one that he's got. Because that is definitely a model.
Yeah.
it. Now, in fairness, I've been contacted by some people who are trying to convince me that we live in a simulation and that none of this is real. And I'm not going to consider that.
No, good.
How
'Cause
about
that's
this? I'll tell you
that's
what.
another
If
one.
if you figure out how to unplug yourself from the matrix, go ahead and contact me, and then I'll start to listen. But for now, we only have two working models. And the final experiment,
He's pushing these two models quite hard, isn't he? Like, this is he's setting them up as though it's a true dichotomy. Right.
was
Well, it sounds like he
designed
believes in
to
the
fall
simulation too. He said it because if you figure out how to unplug yourself, then he wants to know.
falsify one of these two models.
Wait a minute.
Two working models. And the final experiment was designed to falsify one of these two models.
What happens if you can falsify both of those two models?
Then it's a false dichotomy.
Yeah, might you be dealing with a false dichotomy? Perhaps. He seems very keen to set up this true dichotomy. Oblivious. He might be blinded to it, right? It might be model blindness.
That is why it is the final experiment. Let me explain.
Right, so that's why it's the final experiment, right? Because it can falsify one of the models. That would be unfortunate if he'd got himself into a false dichotomy setup there, wouldn't it? Thinking that his thing can falsify one of the models. That face. Would you trust that man? No.
I'm going to show a video right now as to why going to Antarctica in December to see whether or not there's a 24-hour sun will falsify one of the two existing models. Here is a video. Now this
Right, well, what happens if you can already, or you already have falsified both of the models that the guy's going with?
is not to scale, and it's just a model to kind of give an idea so that people can understand what's going on. I'm going to pause it here, and let's take a look at this. In the flat Earth model, in the southern summer, the sun is making its outermost circuit. It's over the Tropic of Capricorn. And if we look here, here's South America. And if our camp, Union Glacier, which is south of South America, is here, how could the sun do a 360 over us at that camp? And as we're looking at this map, I should mention there will also be people.
Could you not do that from Australia? If that's the case, from what he's showing there. Why would you have to go to Antarctica?
In Antarctica in December at McMurdo Station. Where is that? Well, that's right here, south of New Zealand. People have already contacted me and said, Will, I'm going to be stationed at McMurdo. I'll be there this December while you guys are conducting the final experiment at Union Glacier. And so if they have a 24-hour sun here and we have a 24-hour sun here, that doesn't make sense. And to keep going, there's a company called White Desert. They fly people and tourists to Antarctica. each year. And they actually fly out of Africa, and they fly south of Africa to their camp, which is called Witchaway. And so if they have a 24-hour sun this December, there is no way to make sense of that on the flat stationary plane model. That is why the final experiment can be considered final. Now,
Final.
How
Go.
how does the sun being in the sky for a certain amount of time mean or translate to shape of the earth?
I think it's based around the sun going an east-west circle. It needs compliant flat earthers to say a certain thing happens with the light in the sky. And only when they
I
say
make no
that.
claims about the light in the sky.
Well, flat
Actually,
earthers do
that's a
though,
lie.
right? Yeah, flat earthers do.
I do make one. I'll make one. It travels in a circuit because it always comes back to where it was.
Well, if you have that sort of model, then that's the model that he's showing. But like
He's saying,
you've been given that model, right? Or that's what you're imagining, but you're only imagining it because of pictures like this.
I know, but what if I get a testimony of somebody in the north that's seen it go around them?
Well,
But we don't have that testimony from the Antarctic, other than lying videos.
well, that's what this test is meant to do, right? People are
Yeah, I
meant
mean-
to be going there. That's what the idea is, that they go there and they look at the light in the sky and they see how much of it they get. That's the whole point. Now, he's saying it's a final
We've been trying to get him
experiment
to do that
because
for
it
8
will
years,
prove
though.
one or the other. Or it
But we've
will
been trying to get him to
falsify
go there for 8 years.
one or the other.
Yeah, but now nobody wants to go there.
Right?
Well, the point
It
is
seems like-
that it
Yeah.
will falsify whether the light's in the sky. Because if one group says it is and the other group says it isn't, then guess what? They can prove which one is right. Just about the light in the sky. Right? That can be done. They definitely can do that. But the question then comes, what does that prove? Well, it'll prove whether the light's in the sky for 24 hours or not. Now, if you've built your model around the light not being in the sky for 24 hours, then will that falsify your model?
they'll just need to make a new flat Earth model. That's all.
Well, I did hear that they are employing coffee cup caustics to make it light. So the flat earthers are saying that if it's light for 24 hours, but they can't see the sun, then that would prove a flat earth. Some flat earthers. Or some people who claim to be not flat earthers are saying that.
I just hope the sky is clear when they do the video.
Well, would it be okay for both? Could both people claim a win? If it's cloudy but light, would that be like both confirmed or like a stalemate neutral?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they're accepting. I'm sure they could, play it up as, well, none of these people are official scientists. They have no, we can't take what they say into consideration. What do they know about this or that? They're just a crazy this or a crazy that. There's always potential for that as well.
But we're talking about a final experiment, and is it a false dichotomy? Is there any way anybody can work out where the false dichotomy might be, other than the glaring false dichotomy of two models that are obviously provably false? What's the false dichotomy that this guy's thinking about? Any hints? See whether we can get it from his model.
Let's talk about the globe, because the globe could easily be falsified as well. There is a reason why the globe model demands a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And if you're far enough south, it doesn't matter where you are in Antarctica. So here's another video, again, not to scale. And it's just a crude representation so that people can understand. I just want people to understand. I want to simplify this. I want to simplify both models, oversimplify them so that everybody can understand exactly what we're doing. I'm proud to say that my kids even understand now what's going on with the final experiment and why it will falsify one of the two models. So here is a video of a rotating globe. And as you'll notice here, Antarctica there at the bottom of it always has the sun. That Antarctica never, in this video here, never gets dark. And so that's the point, is that we can't have a 24-hour sun on the flat Earth model, and we must have a 24-hour sun in the globe model. Now, recently, a flat earther challenged me to take my toy globe and a flashlight, and they challenged me to demonstrate with just my toy globe and a flashlight why there would be a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And so I decided I would do it.
Who? Shame that flat earther. Come on. Let us know who it was. Or is this just an excuse to get your flashlight out to shine it on the globe?
I talked to my kids. I made it a homeschool project, and I asked my daughter if we could borrow her closet because it doesn't have any windows and it's dark. And here's what we did. And so as you look at this picture, you'll notice this is just a simple globe and a simple flashlight. My daughter's holding it. And you can see, because of the tilt of the globe, that the bottom there, which is Antarctica, which is a little bit hard to see, would never be in the darkness, especially that southern screw that you can see there, which would be the South Pole, holding the globe at that 23.5-degree angle tilt. And so this is why the final experiment is not a false dichotomy. There are only two working models. That's it.
You see? Don't even... I don't know who's claimed that there's a false dichotomy about the test. I don't know.
And what the sun does in December in Antarctica will falsify one of these two models. Take a look at this picture here. This is a picture of 3 places where I know people will be in Antarctica in December, including anybody going with the final experiment. As you can see on the flat Earth model, they are stretched out almost as far as possible from one another. Consider the distance there and how far away they are, with all of the world's continents being in between. Then look at this picture, and if the globe is right, then all of these people at these different camps, Union Glacier, McMurdo Station, Witchaway Camp, they're all kind of near each other. They're all on the same island that's at the bottom of the globe. And so it makes sense that all of them would see this sun never dipping below the horizon, doing circles above their
Is
head.
this guy a flat earther, Bev?
And so this is going to be
Is this guy a flat earther? Bev?
Oh, sorry. He's not presenting as a flat earther.
Well, how many times have you been in Discords and heard arguments where globers say there is no flat earth model, you don't have a model?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, I know I'm a couple of minutes behind, but he's claiming that the flat earth is a working model.
Yeah, he's got 2 working models that they're working off, I think.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big claim. So I was just wondering, he must be a flat earther then, right?
Well, I'd say he's doing a video about a false dichotomy whilst supporting the false dichotomy. Perhaps misunderstanding. And I know, like I said at the beginning, I know Nathan Oakley's talked about a false dichotomy, but that's about as much information as Will's given about a false dichotomy, because I don't know whether they know what the false dichotomy is. I'm struggling to work out why this guy has made a video about a false dichotomy, asking whether it's a false dichotomy, when you either see the sun for 24 hours or you don't. I mean, that's not a false dichotomy. It's not even,
Yeah,
doesn't
but
even
then
call
he's
for a video about a false dichotomy.
yeah, but this is why he's then gone on to, you know, the 2 models. That's all he's waffling on about now, is there's 2 models. Now he's actually going on about a false dichotomy, which is, it's a really strange way to do a video.
Well,
And he's
to
waffling.
us, because as far as I'm aware, we are the only people that are pointing out a false dichotomy, and that false dichotomy is flat versus globe, and that's what he's pushing. I don't think anybody else on either side of the flat versus globe consider flat versus globe as a false dichotomy. There's only those people outside of the flat versus globe that point out that it is a false dichotomy.
Mm-hmm. And out of all the models, he doesn't. Where is his flat Earth model on his desk? He doesn't have that. He has a globe model and a cube.
He's got it, yeah, but he's got it on his thing behind him.
Yeah, but he doesn't actually have a model in front of him, does he?
No, but he's got it on the thing behind him. He's got quite a few. He's got 3 that you can see.
Yeah, but then he's got a cube and then he's got a globe. So is this whole video just him talking out of his behind?
I think he's trying to push a false dichotomy whilst saying that it isn't a false dichotomy, to me. But I mean, I guess people are easily fooled nowadays.
Definitive. This is going to be final. This is not a false dichotomy. I think the cube Earth is a fun gimmick, but the reality is we have two competing models, and we are going.
See,
You've got two competing models, but he keeps forgetting about reality, which these two competing models cannot compete with.
and again, he says right before, even though I've got a cube model,
Yeah. He doesn't consider it.
yeah, but you don't have a flat Earth model in front of you like you do a cube and a globe. But to him, flat is way more credible than cube. Which who decides like what the options are anyway? Who decides that there's only those two?
Let's face it, right? He's the one that's got this final experiment. I mean, he has to keep this false dichotomy, as we call it.
I would like to know, what would the sun do in Antarctica if Earth was a dinosaur?
It'll do whatever it's going to do.
Because I have a feeling they're going to get there and all of the data is going to come back and it's going to be translated into dinosaur.
It could be if you... Well,
Program
it
the AI
doesn't
just
really matter.
right.
Whatever you see will be translated to whichever model you have. I mean, that's the way it goes, right? That's why people make models, because they want to try and explain things. Mainly things that happen in reality. So you make a model to try and explain what's happening in reality. Now, only ever things that happen in reality. They only happen in reality. And you can't change them. You can make whatever model you want, and you can put anything that happens in reality on any model, particularly nowadays. They've got quite inventive with that sort of shit. What have we got? Any chat in there? Global will say they saw a 24-hour sun, and Jerem will say he's seen 24-hour light. So Mike Dornan's gearing up for 24-hour sun or 24-hour light. People are already making their minds up what's going to happen.
Going to falsify one of them this December. And I'm going to give you my commitment right now. If we get to Antarctica and that sun does not...
So what this does, right, he's setting up this idea that you've got some models, right? You've got two different ideas, and that can be about what happens in reality, about the lights in the sky. And somehow that's meant to link to a model of the shape of the world, let's say. And he's going to falsify one or the other by what the lights in the sky do.
Oh, actually, Ian's got a good point in the chat. You know when this guy had the globe and his daughter was holding the torch, and they were doing that thing showing, oh, look, the sun's here. Antarctica is always going to have light. Look, it's on that pin at the bottom. That's the closest thing to the sun, right? In his demonstration, that was the closest thing to the sun, Antarctica. So why is it ice? As Ian Adams pointed out in the chat.
Sean's praying. It's all right, God. I mean, I know we're getting dead religious and stuff.
Oh, what would Jesus say though, Sean?
Yeah.
With your behaviour, I don't think Jesus would be very
Either
impressed.
Jesus or QE, because somebody was saying the other day that QE holds all of the things that Jesus did. So you may as well say, what would QE say? What
Yeah,
am I? Tell
no.
me, Sean. Tell me, what am I ignorant of? Obviously, I'm not going to know, am I? So you inform me, and then I can stop being ignorant of it. Come on, Sean. You can still
No,
come into
Sean.
the Discord. Come on in.
Yeah. If you weren't such a horrible old bastard, Sean, you could actually come and game with us, and it's quite fun.
Make me not ignorant, Sean. Obviously, I'm completely ignorant of whatever it is that you're talking about. I haven't got a clue. That's how
Yeah,
ignorant I
Sean,
am.
but Emma, Sean doesn't like getting wrecked on games in front of people. He likes to do it on his own. So he would never come over.
I suppose because a lot of the ones we play are, you play as a team, so maybe you wouldn't get on with that. But if you change your mind, Sean, and your ways,
Come on in. Come and have a chat. Unignorant than me.
what sentence was that?
I don't know. I'm ignorant, obviously, and I'm not. I'm definitely not going to know what I'm ignorant of, because I'm ignorant of it.
Go around us,
Okay.
and that sun is all of a sudden no longer visible in the sky. I'm going to document that. I'm going to film it. I'm going to take pictures. I'll even interview anybody there on the globe side. I'll interview Dave McKeegan, and I'll say, Dave, is the sun in the sky right now? And if he's tempted to lie and say yes, I'll ask him to point it out, and he won't be able to.
Is the sun in the sky?
Yeah, is the sun in the sky, Dave?
I would say
You
the
lying?
sun is. I would say the sun is in the sky 24 hours a day, all like forever, right? It's always in the sky. There isn't a time when the sun isn't in the sky.
Really?
Yeah, it's always in the sky
Doesn't
somewhere.
it go in the ground? In the
Well,
water?
I don't know. Is that maybe what they think happens to it?
Yeah.
Not sure.
I would be with you. The lights are always in the sky. That's why they're called lights in the sky. Because they're always in the sky.
So I'm going to make him tell the truth. And if he tells the truth that there is no sun in the sky, and I pan that camera around 360 degrees and there is no sun in the sky, that is definitive evidence against the globe.
Against the globe.
But on the flip side, if the sun does stay in the sky and it does do 360-degree circles above our head, we're going to document that as well. We're going to film that as well. And the burden of proof will be on the people there representing the flat earth side to get my attention at any point in time if all of a sudden the sun is not doing circles above our head. And if they can't do that, that means the sun is there doing what it's doing as the globe model would predict. I'm excited because we are going to make significant progress in this debate, this flat earth versus globe debate. And the way I see it is this is going to make huge advancements for humanity regardless of what happens. You see,
huge.
This is going to be huge.
Humanity.
The lights in the sky, the sun being in the sky is going to be huge for humanity.
Taking a flat earther to Antarctica is going to be a huge step for humanity. Oh, sorry, and a glober. A flat earther and a globe earther going to Antarctica at the same time to film lights in the sky is.
But do they honestly think? Do they honestly think the flat earthers everywhere are going to just suddenly go, yeah, do you know what? I agree with you. Yeah, that absolutely proves
it.
If
they take the right flat earther, everybody will have to agree in the flat earth community. It's just choosing who's the right flat earther to take.
Entertainment is your reality. Okay, that's it. Just deal with it. That's it. That's it. Just pure entertainment. That's all this is.
It is the final experiment, right? He's called it that for a reason. He wouldn't have done that if it wasn't. I don't even think Arwen was on the list. I think we did have a look at the list today. And I don't think Arwen was on it. Would Arwen go? My lad said he'd go. He's got the cameras and
Where are you
everything.
going? What, Antarctica?
He
You want to
said,
go?
yeah, he said he'd go.
Yeah, I don't know whether you'd like the crossing, but fair enough. It
It's
depends
not-
whether they're
it's not-
doing
yeah,
it
it's
by
on a
boat.
plane.
Oh, they're flying
There's
over.
no, yeah, there's no boat. You just go on a plane.
Yeah, a definite no from me then.
Well, he's took all of the pictures already, right? He's got the Robotham, he's got the Wallace, he's got the Fata Morganas, he's got Under the Horizon, he's got Bedford. You know, we've got quite a lot of stuff. So, you know, if there isn't any flat earthers that are willing to go, then we do have a cameraman who's wanting to go. He's just finished his thing as well. Perfect timing.
If they're hiding something, if they're hiding the fact that the sun does not do what the globe model predicts, that the sun is not visible in the sky
Model predicts.
while we're there, I'm going to expose that. And I'm more than happy to do that. And that would be huge for humanity. Uncovering a lie, uncovering a grand deception by government agencies is a good thing, and I will do it.
Oh. I mean, that's good for humanity, right? He's doing some good stuff. Groundbreaking stuff for humanity. Do you reckon it could be a ploy? Could this be a flat earther that's wanting to expose the globe? A bit of an elaborate ploy, like, but it's not beyond it. It's in strange.
But on the other side of that coin, if the sun does circles, and if there is a 24-hour sun, the sun is always visible in the sky, then that means we do live on a globe. And that will help humanity because we can stop wasting all of this time, all of this energy, and all of these resources debating something that simply doesn't need to be debated anymore, the shape of the earth. We can then put our energies and efforts into bettering the world. I think that sounds like a
bettering the
great
world.
plan.
That's good.
I can't wait to help do my part this December. Thanks so much. Sweet.
Bettering the world. I mean, that's noble, right? If only we could all, you know, better the world. We can, after this December, he's going to sort it out and it will be done. Final experiment will be over and we can all just
I make the world
go
better every
about
day.
to make the world a better place. You'll agree, won't you, Rob?
I already do. Yeah, I already do that every day.
Yeah.
Stuff comes to me broken and it leaves fixed, therefore better.
Well, do you think final experiment? I mean, I know you have a problem with the experiment thing, but what about the final part?
No, this is going to go on forever still. Don't worry.
Well, you know, to us, it's a false dichotomy, so of course it's going to go on forever. It stops everybody talking about bettering humanity if they can just keep bickering about stuff. I don't know. I couldn't see the false dichotomy. I can't even think, what's the false dichotomy that other people are throwing at him? Does anyone know that? Did you hear it? Or did you just hear him say it's not a false dichotomy? He couldn't have heard that, you know, like there's a problem about people saying there's a false dichotomy. That can't be a problem to these guys, can it? I mean, they're
He
safe
did
with
wave a
their false
square
dichotomy, aren't
thing.
they?
And you had a square one. That was, you know, that was the other offering that
Yeah.
would make it a false dichotomy.
Well, and
It's actually
the
it's
Matrix.
square.
Forget about
The
the Matrix
Matrix,
as
yeah.
well. But he's not going to have them. He's going to like brush them past and say these are the only two. Mike
Yeah, I
Jones
don't think
says,
he's an unbiased you know, person in this. He's not an unbiased organizer, that's for sure.
well, he requires this false dichotomy. I don't know, he doesn't want to call it a false dichotomy, but he obviously
Well, hold on.
he imagines it's a true dichotomy, doesn't he?
Hold on. Maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's pump the brakes a bit. Let's go to his other videos, the previous experiments that he did. What were the results of those? And then we can move on to this final experiment. Maybe we should start there.
Yeah, the preliminary experiment.
Correct. That
Yeah.
leads up to the final one. So, do we know the results of those, or do those not exist? I don't know.
I think personally, the final experiment might hinge upon a false dichotomy.
Interesting. That's a different way to look at it. It's kind of weird why these prominent flat earthers aren't getting involved, though. It's kind of weird. You know, that's very telling. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah. I've already got that one up on. How have I got that one up on screen already?
What one? The one I just posted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it would be interesting to see if Jaren did a similar thing to this guy, whether he did, you know, like a video, but it seems they did it together.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see like what Jaren's little segment was, but it doesn't look like he's done one.
Right, I need to I just nip off for a second or two. So do you want us to play a tune?
I was going to say, yeah, stick on one of the songs for a minute.
Okay. Old school, what do you want to hear? Old school or new school? Do you want to...
Not one of the crap ones. No, that's nearly all of them.
I think she's leaning towards the old school. She might be leaning towards the old school.
I'm gonna play me new one, the Glogic. You guys, right? I'll be back in a minute.
He doesn't have to listen to it.
It has been shown that with Glogic, everything and anything can be linked to globe. Geometry axioms 4, 5, and 6. Therefore, all existing proofs within reality can also be used to prove the real globe by extension of these basic simple axioms that everyone knows to be unquestionably true. Real-world practical uses with Glogic can be shown thus. In the real world, it is thought to be known as globe. Yet anything that can be proved to be true in the real world can be used by progression of these universally changing axioms to be proved by axiomatic extension of the real globe. What follows is some Glogic proof of globe. Logic states if G then G, and if G and G then G, therefore it can be proved directly by and globe, and globe, and globe, and globe, and globe, or indirectly by it's not flat, and globe, it's not flat, therefore tis globe, or if it's not flat, then it's not flat, then it's definitely globe. We can safely say it's not flat, therefore tis globe. Rest assured that we will continue to progress the proofs of globe. Globus trollens, the verb that affirms by affirmation. Globus trollens, if 'tis G, then not therefore 'tis globe. So starting with the premise 'tis globe, we can say if the reality we live in is 'tis globe, 'tis G, then the reality we live in could not be flat, 'tis not flat. It's been proven by them that the reality we live in is not flat, 'tis not flat. Therefore the reality we live in is 'tis globe, 'tis globe. Confirmation through globus trollens, globus balance, a globe that affirms by denial. Globus balance, yes not, that not. Therefore, starting with the premise is not flat, not. You can say, if the reality we live in is not flat, not fuff, then the reality we live in is not flat, not fuff. Then the reality we live in must be 'tis globe. The reality we live in has been proven to not be flat, but then not fuff. Therefore the reality we live in has to be 'tis globe, 'tis globe. Confirmation by globus balance, globus ballendo trollens. The globe that affirms by denial of affirmation. If that, then not that, not that, not therefore that. Starting with the major premise that 'tis globe, we could say if that reality we live in is 'tis globe, then the reality we live in can't be not that, not that, not. Through logical deduction, since it's clear to everyone that ever existed in the known universe that 'tis globe, the natural conclusion is that 'tis globe cannot be at the same time both be that 'tis globe and not that, not 'tis globe. Therefore that must be that 'tis globe. Rest assured that we will continue to progress the proofs of globe. Be at peace with your globe. Therefore that must be that 'tis globe. Rest assured that we will continue to progress the proofs of globe. Be at peace with your globe. Therefore stop living in 'tis globe. Be at peace with your globe.
Right, I'm back.
That was brilliant.
Got me.
That
brilliant.
one. Do you know what? That one is brilliant. Do you know what?
That
The
one-
only thing it's missing, Bev, is like a tag, like on the level somewhere.
That is
in
one
there.
of my favorites. That's
Yeah.
one of my new favorites.
But that
I've
was really funny.
Very good.
I've never felt more intense about a globe ever in my life.
Yeah.
Tis globe.
'Tis globe. It's the proof of globe.
It's not flat.
It's dead easy.
It's not
yeah,
flat.
yeah. All you need is a false dichotomy. You can prove whichever one you want. Falsify either of them.
Yeah, there's a bit of Zappa style in there, in the lyrics.
That's one
Very
of the
good.
ones I like.
It's one of the best ones I've heard for quite a few days, I must say.
Yeah.
I wish
Yeah.
I wish there was a website we could go to maybe read more about
Website.
this stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's going to
Yeah.
be there. I think that I'm going to put that on that page, I think.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, brilliant. Well done.
Proof of globe. Globgic. That's what I'm going to call that one. I'm going to title it. I wanted to title it Globgic first. Proof of globe. But I think it might be better if we title it Proof of Globe. Because then that'll stand out a little bit more, won't it?
What style was that one?
algorithm. Style?
Yeah.
Liquid drum and bass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That worked out really well.
Spoken word,
Yeah,
though. I put spoken word in liquid drum and bass, spoken word, and I bracketed a few spoken word bits in it as well.
I mean, it was kind of like a freestyle, but it was, it didn't jumble any of the words either. Dealt with, really well.
Yeah. Right, so false dichotomy. There's seems like, you know, I know.
You know what they say about
Go on.
they say about AI is it's a learning process. You know, so you got to be patient.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Don't go shooting up the west coast though.
Well, this false dichotomy, I think we have the honor, I don't know, of like doing logic, right? So we understand what a false dichotomy is, and I've heard a lot mentioned by Nathan Oakley and now Will Duffy. I don't know whether they know what a false dichotomy is. What was the point of that video? Just for him to reassure people that it wasn't a false dichotomy by saying there are other models, but we're not going to consider them. I don't know. What did anybody else get out of that? Like,
I thought it was a nod to you.
you think?
Trying to cut off the path, yeah. Both maybe combined with last night's bit of info.
Well, I would say that, you know, like his idea of either seeing the light in the sky or not seeing the light in the sky, I mean, that's not a false dichotomy at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's about representing that particularly.
It's linking it
Just
to
thinking
models, isn't it? I mean, like that's the problem.
Yeah, just thinking about the, like, you know, who is informing his narrative really. Who's behind him?
Yeah.
And who would they say you should speak to or not speak to, or whose voice we want in this or whose voice we don't want in this? How are we going to represent that voice or any voices?
Get this one because there is another video that he's done just recently to a flat earther.
Well, I think it'll serve him well if no flat earther stands up to go. I think it will, you know, fall right into their, into their plan really. I think they'd like it that no flat earther goes. Particularly as they've said for so long, if only we could go beyond the 60th parallel. I know it's not ideal, they're not organising it themselves, but you know, if you were fairly secure in your belief, in your knowing, it shouldn't be any belief either, then you could be fairly confident to go and you know, in the knowledge that your model was correct.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys heard of the Robot Polisher channel?
Yeah, he's on Twitter.
Okay. I've just been starting to get into that. He has done some great video editing. I laughed so hard at some of those videos. I went through and watched so many.
He does shorts, doesn't he, for the Twitter guys? Right. So this is. Can we get that? I'm only doing this because I'm curious because I do want to have a word with this guy. Are we on? Is that right? Yeah. Right, so here you go. Here's a link in the chat to this video that we're going to go over. I've never heard of him before, and he hasn't got that many subs. And there's not many views on this video, so give him a view or whatever. I just want to see how other people are taking it, because this guy is obviously a flat earther, and Will's obviously doing the rounds.
I think he met up with Sovereign Soul, I think.
He did. He
Or
used
Sovereign
a
Soul.
Sovereign Soul video, but I think this one's a little bit more recent. This is only out 7 hours ago.
Yeah. Maybe that was. Can't see which one you're looking at, Bum.
It's a guy called Swallow Fe. Swallow Fe. Now, I've never heard of him before, if anybody else has ever heard of him. But I want to see how the conversation goes and who's leading the conversation. So, let me get it. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look.
First question I gotta start off with is, who are you and what's your scenario?
Yeah, so Will Duffy here. I currently pastor a small church outside of Denver, Colorado. And I came up with something called the final experiment, which is an experiment to end the debate over the shape of the Earth. And so this took me a very long time to come up with. It took me a very long time to figure out all the logistics and how to make it work. But what we're going to do is we're sending at least one globe earther and one flat earther to Antarctica this December to see whether or not there's a 24-hour sun, a midnight sun in Antarctica. If there is, we live on a globe. And if there's not, we live on a flat earth. And so that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Who's the guy with the paper bag over his face?
It's that Swallow. It's like he's only got 42 subs.
42, yeah. I mean, that's a bit odd.
Okay, well, why? Is that
worried
him
about
now,
being
or is that just a picture?
That's just
remain
a
anonymous.
picture, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like
He doesn't
me
want
or
you
whatever,
going round there
sort of
knocking on
thing.
his door.
Yeah, I mean, if
I
I was to
find
do
it
it, I mean,
weird.
I'm not on camera now, am I? So
No, but neither is anyone else.
yeah, but I mean, if I do have a chat with Will, I'm not going to be on camera. I'm going to be stood up in front of me whiteboard. I won't be able to see me tellies.
Well, part of being one of the 24 was that you didn't have to necessarily go. You just had to have an interview with him on your channel.
I thought that's what he wanted was.
Yeah, so I don't know who this guy is with 42 views. It's kind of seems strange. You wouldn't necessarily target
subscribers.
42 subscribers.
He's just doing a trip around and he's practicing. I mean, I do this. If you had a final experiment, you'd want to push it everywhere, wouldn't you? Doesn't matter who you're doing it to, you would literally go and talk to everyone. Well, Level Bastard says it's a glober pretending to be a flat earther. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a short thing. I don't know.
Little setup.
Nice. It doesn't matter. They're all playing the game, aren't they? Oh,
yeah.
Just give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that I did the press record on that. I'm just a bit worried about it. Yes, all good. I'll cut that part together. That's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for that. Woke up at 6:30, so this is a bit fun here. Seeing as this is a Zoom call, and I'm going to be a bit silly here, I just wanted to make sure that you were wearing pants for this particular conversation.
I'm wearing shorts. Does that count?
That's good enough. That's good enough. Now I saw Reg Rhetoric's video the other day, and it was a bit of a grueling, I have to admit. And I want to put it out here that I think that what you're doing is fantastic, and I've been like every single morning checking on it and stuff like that. So I'm excited, and I want to make sure that you get some positive vibes once in a while, because there's a lot of people who are asking hard questions.
I appreciate that.
Cool. Okay, so I got some slightly left of center questions because I've been hearing most of the same sort of stuff, and so I just want to throw a few left of center ones and then a few dumb ones, which is just stupid. The first question is, do you plan to have a bit of an itinerary for people to lay out and sort of observe? Because obviously the premise is there, but as to times when people need to get there, etc., it's probably a little bit in the dark.
Yeah, so if people want to join us in Antarctica, they're going to have to pay their own way, for starters. I'm only paying for one flat earther and one globe earther to go. Now, people are reaching out. They do want to join us. People are paying their own way.
So you keep saying us, right? So you've got to presume he's going too. And so Will Duffy has got 3 tickets to go to Antarctica. And of course, rather than taking his missus or, his best mates, he's offered up a chance for a flat earther and a globe earther to go with him. It's a bit risky, you'd want to hope that you're going to get along with someone if you're going on this, because this is the trip of a lifetime. Not so sure I'd be willing to risk my trip of a lifetime by inviting 2 groups of warring factions to go on a trip and pissing bottles in tents, because you can't.
Has he said who the Glober is yet?
It's Dave McKeegan.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I think he might have been first on the list, and he went, "Yep, I'm doing that," leaving his dog behind. Mike says he's not going. He's going. He says us. He can't say us without meaning himself to go. He's got to go himself.
So when that happens, I will connect you with the company that does these Antarctic tours every year. They're called Antarctic Logistics and Expeditions, ALE. And I'll connect you with them. You're just going to pay them. Nothing goes to me. You pay their regular rates.
Like
And they
30
have an
grand.
official itinerary, which is when you have to fly into Chile, into Punta Arenas, when we leave Punta Arenas to fly to Antarctica, how long we're there, when we fly out, all of that kind of stuff. In terms of an itinerary as to the experiment itself, that's going to be a work in progress. I'll know more. Like, I'm still working out so many details. Like, are we going to be able to have internet? Are we going to be able to live stream? Which cameras to take? All that fun stuff. So we will get more information so that people can know how to follow it, how to maybe see us live, all that stuff as we get closer to December.
Yeah. The reason why I asked was because I wasn't too sure, like, if you wanted to be at Punta Arenas like 2 days prior and have 2 days after, just to make sure that, if, say, for instance, wind or something like comes up, you have to leave a day later at Antarctica. You might lose all your flights if that's the case. So it just needs a little bit of buffer on each side.
Definitely, yeah. Once someone is approved by ALE to go, and they pay their deposit, they will then get all of those instructions, detailed instructions on clothing, food, flights. And yeah, you definitely want to get there early, and then also make sure your return flight is a little bit later, because weather can be, hit or miss down there for sure.
Okay, good. Excellent.
The views have just gone up and then went straight back down again. Really weird watching YouTube do this. So, I don't know. I thought people knew this sort of stuff.
Next question. Well, I guess this was the different question. How many days were you planning on lodging at Punta Arenas?
One second, please.
How many days are you planning on? Go on.
I just wanted to say, I heard Will Duffy say that this is an annual thing, right? So this company that does it, shouldn't somebody have gone and already done this observation and said something about it?
Well, they don't trust him, obviously.
You would think.
Yeah. Nobody trusts anybody. I mean, like, he's obviously researched it, right? Will, that is. And if he's willing to pay out, what, over 100 grand for these two, you know, for these people to go, then
That's weird.
he must already know what he's going to see. Mustn't he? Or they must have told him that. And he seems to know the company and everything. I mean, he could just be bluffing, but I mean, he seems like he knows what he's doing.
Done that. Now, this is just, we know that the internet connection Punta Arenas is going to be just fine. So do you plan on doing like a quick 2-hour live stream of everyone, you know, down the bar, or having a bit of a meal and having a chat?
Absolutely. Yeah. The plan is to do a live stream in Punta Arenas for a couple of reasons. One, it'll just be fun.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we've got 5 flat earthers and 5 globe earthers there, all just, you know, breaking bread together. I mean, I think that's historic. I don't know if that's ever been done before. And then we'll also do a live stream just for those, you know, naysayers and doubters who might think we are not in Chile. We're going to go ahead and look at some landmarks and some restaurants, and we'll confirm for everybody where our geographical location is for sure.
Yeah, definitely good. I had a little bit of a look at Punta Arenas on the Google Map thing the other day, and I noticed that there was some sort of orange. There's like an orange statue which looks like it's got a ship on the inside. So that might be a good geographical thing. It's not quite on Google Maps because the street view was like 2012, but it's there on some of the images. So
great, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now I know that I know for a fact that there's probably, if there is 24 hours down in Antarctica, there's obviously not going to be any stars there. So is anyone potentially going to check the stars down at Punta Arenas, because you will get the twilight?
Yeah, so we've been asked to do this. I think it's a great idea. And so, yes, that is part of the plan. I don't know how exactly how we're going to pull it off yet, but I absolutely want to do that while we're there. We'll have time.
Yeah, it all depends on if someone has the skills and knowledge, because I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't be able to have a clue. So, yeah. I mean, apart from them looking for the Southern Crux, I think that'd be about it.
This guy, yeah, like, is this an actual flat Earth map? Because that seems pretty big. Whatever this bit is, it looks like a slightly distorted flat Earth map. So, I mean, I don't know whether any flat earthers would take credit for this. Does any flat earthers know this guy? I don't know. This doesn't look like a flat earth.
I've never seen this guy before in my entire life.
Have you ever seen that flat earth map before either?
Nope. I gotta get to the breaks. Sorry.
Okay, this is a bit of a stupid question here. So do you think the plane is going to have a big enough fuel tank for a 4-hour flight, seeing this fuel tanks on airplanes is fake?
Oh, sorry. I didn't catch it. Okay. Yes. So it's a 757.
Definitely not a flat
This plane
earther.
is capable of going much further distances than a 4.5-hour flight. So no concerns there.
Yeah, I think that, but some people don't think planes have fuel tanks for some reason.
They do.
Yeah, I know you've talked about the mountains nearby a few times, and I know Wes Wally sort of put up a question. I think he probably beat me to the pace. But I'm assuming, are they going to allow you to be able to go 1 or 2 k's north of the base, and they just have a little camera location there so you can stay away from the mountains?
Yes. So they're going to allow us to set up a camera outside of camp, which is great. I'm not too concerned about the mountains. I've had a ton of people doing modeling from all over the world, actually. So I'm very thankful for that. I don't know how to do this kind of modeling. I have no idea what kind of software they're using, but we're getting a ton of modeling. And I don't expect the modeling to be perfect, but from what we're seeing, based on our dates, from December 14th through the 18th, the sun should not go behind one of those mountains. So I feel good about that. Just in case, we will be taking a drone. In case it does go behind a mountain, we can fly that drone up and verify that the sun is still in the sky.
Yeah, I do agree, because I have seen the video from Bert, and I have asked for more more penguins in his videos, so I'm sure he does. Okay, so this is sort of a run on from what that other one was before about the about Jeremy saying that if he sees like more than 3 hours of clouds or whatever, he doesn't 100% know if that's a sunset. But what I was thinking about that particular subject is that I checked the AE map, and according to the actual the pathway of Tropic Capricorn, it should not come between the 45 degrees from north on each side, and so northwest and northeast, the sun shouldn't pan out from there. So I'm thinking that the easiest thing to do, apart from all the sundials and stuff that people are going to be doing, is you just draw a V on the snow, and if it actually goes to the west and goes outside the V, it's pretty much done and dusted, really. They can't complain about that, but I know that they're going to want more evidence.
Yeah, I like that idea. We've been getting a lot of similar ideas, like putting up flags and things of that nature. The hard part is going to be determining cardinal directions while we're there. That's one issue. That's one of the issues that a 360-degree sun would solve. If we don't get the cardinal directions perfect, if it does a 360, we know we're on a globe. But that's
cardinal directions. And what are they?
Yeah, he's definitely speaking your language, Ben.
Yeah. I mean, they're perpendicular, as far as I understand, right? And he's just got to get them right.
I think there's only one direction that can be measured. And if you put a plus sign on the tool that measures it, cool.
Yeah, this guy Swallow, his channel is about debunking flat earthers.
It's
So
debunking
he's not a flat earther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the numbers of his thing keeps going up and down.
Hence the misrepresented map behind him.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
That's something I'll consider.
channel's
One
sort of
idea I
on
really
itself.
like would actually be recording shadows. The shadow of the sun on the flat Earth model
Love the
would go
shadows.
like this, back and forth. And the sun on a globe model would go like this. The shadow, sorry, would go like this all around the object. So I'm going to try to record shadows as well.
Yeah. Well, I think you might have some idea of where you are when you come in on the airport track, and the direction of the mountains. I think going downhill might be slightly north, but I'm not too sure. Okay, this is a bit of a left of center question. I've been noticing this 24 numbered type scenario, and I was thinking about the fact that you did all this in secret, and then you came out and burst out on a particular date and then just released it all. So me being a Bitcoin guy, I'm wondering whether or not you would think of yourself as the Satoshi Nakamoto of the flat earth movement, seeing as you've come out with all these numbers and you've tried to hide your identity.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that guy. I don't even know if that's his real name or not, or if anybody knows. Okay. So the big difference here is that my name is really Will Duffy. I'm really the guy behind the final experiment. I'm really on the globe side, and I'm really trying to settle this debate once and for all of our sake.
Trying to settle the debate, but I mean, hasn't everyone been saying that there isn't a debate? I think in order to have the debate, you're going to need arguments. And he's got the light in the sky. But he's going to solve it. Final experiment.
Yeah, I agree. I've tried to invite quite a few people down on the Qantas flights before to do similar things, but no takers so far. Okay, I'm just going to re-raise one of the things I've said on my prior video, obviously.
So is this guy
we're
someone
talking
we
about
know? Because
shooting a sextant.
we've heard of these offers being chucked around before, right?
Yeah.
People offering to fly flat earthers to Antarctica or whatever. Maybe that's why this guy is actually hiding his identity. Because we already know who he is.
Well, you know, Wally was on the list, right?
That's what I mean. It's all these same people. It's always the same people. It's not going to be some random flat earther that gets to go. It's going to be Jaron. It's going to be Nathan Oakley. You know, it's going to be someone like that.
I hope
Same for
it's
the
Nathan
Globers.
Oakley. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers for Nathan Oakley.
Yeah,
Depends how
hopefully he'll
far
fall
down the
down
list he is.
Hopefully he'll fall down a hole in the ice. And then I won't have to hear his voice again.
Yeah, it's interesting because you just mentioned Bitcoin. When I first looked, I got another guy who is same spelling as him, but with one less L, and he does loads of stuff. He also always has a mask or something, covering his face, like a cartoon thing that's added, and but yeah, so he seems to be featuring lots of Bitcoin based YouTube stuff. So he's obviously added an L, and this channel is about 11 months, 12 months old. Flat Earth debunking.
It's weird that, isn't it? Debunking flat Earth.
Yeah, so he's obviously, well, his early ones were Australian. Links to Australia. He's got an Australian accent, so yeah, don't know who he is though.
I mean, have they never heard of mountains? No. I don't know how they've missed that. I mean, like, why do they have to go to Antarctica? It's to falsify a model.
All different directions, but you just generally, I think you've already received many recommendations on that already anyway.
Yep,
exactly. All right, and the second recommendation, which I put up, and I thought it was a bit funny, and I reckon I could probably help you out with this, but would you like me to post you out a few of those call flute faces, which has like pictures of Flat Earth Dave, Witsit, and like Caleb, just for fun? Because I think it's it represents them being in location.
So there's a chance Austin Whitsitt will be there with us in person. I haven't heard anything from Caleb, but maybe Caleb is considering, I'm just making this up. It's more wishful thinking. Me being hopeful. Maybe Caleb is going to crowdfund, to his TikTok audience and be there with us in person. So my goal right now is to get these people to be there with us in person. So no need for a cutout.
Okay.
Not what QE's doing, is it? Adam making for QE.
Okay, so I watched the Jeranism video the other day, and if Jeranism is sort of, pushing Witsit to be able to go, like you just said, and it sounds as if he wants Witsit's ticket to be covered as well. Is there anything we can do to be able to help, you being able to get on the airplane? Because if you have to surrender the seat because two flat earthers want to take those seats, I don't know. I think a lot of people will be expecting you to actually still be there anyway.
Yeah, so I am going to do everything in my power to be there. But in my opinion, I think it's more important that we have people who are well known in this space on both sides to be there, other than myself. So
that's weird. That's weird. You want to give up your seat because you think it's better that other people are better known than you are?
Wouldn't you want to know this thing for yourself instead of relying on somebody else's word?
Well, that's what I would say. I'd say, like, first and foremost, you have to prove it to yourself. And then it wouldn't really matter what anybody else thought of it, because you'd have that proof for yourself. For him to want to give that up, I don't take it. I don't believe it. I couldn't. Spending £100,000 to stand back to let Whitsitt and Jeren go. I'm not.
So who's the third one then?
Super weird.
Dave McKeegan. He'd rather trust Dave McKeegan, Whitsitt, and Jeren than himself. I thought it was weird that, like, he wanted to take other people with him. I mean, take your missus, your best mate.
the verdict is still out. We still don't know exactly what's going to happen. But I will do everything I can to be there. But if I can't, I do think it's more important that we have a guy like Dave McKeegan on the Globe side, and we've got people like Jaren and Austin on the Flat Earth side.
Yeah.
What? I mean, this guy's working for the false dichotomy, right?
Yeah, but see what I mean? It's not going to be. It's going to be all the superstars, right? The big names of Flat Earth, and they've all got to sustain each other for this whole
Yeah, they're going to have a Titanic event.
Yeah, but they need each other to keep going. So this isn't going to be the final experiment that, concludes everything. They're just going to keep arguing forever and ever. Nothing will change.
You think the ship will make it?
They're already trying to decide that, why they're making excuses, let's say, for why they will see a light in the sky. I mean, I even heard that, that's a proof of flat Earth. If they can see 24-hour light, but not the sun. I mean, everybody trusts Dave McKeegan, right? Or Whitsitt, or Jeren. At least one of them, right? You'd be able, everyone within this arena, for the, for humanity, right? That's why we're doing it, for the good of humanity. Groundbreaking stuff for the good of humanity. I mean, who better to put in, in that position? Dave McKeegan, Whitsitt, and Jeren.
For the greater good.
Yeah. One way or the other. One way or the other.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it turns out that way, I'd like to be able to donate, obviously. And I've talked to some people in some chats as well, and so I wonder if anyone doesn't meet their crowdfunding, or whether or not they'd roll it in to be able to make sure that you can get a flight. So, because I think it's probably important for you to be there, seeing as you are the head of this thing. So,
I appreciate that.
Cool. Now, I know that this is the final experiment and all, but I'm just wondering, as I'd mentioned to you in some of the emails, do you think it's ever worthwhile to do like a backup of this like a year or two later or whatever with the Qantas flight I was talking about?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I'm hoping that this is going to be kind of definitive,
Yeah.
and maybe it will make people excited to do the Qantas flight if once we know what's really going on with the sun down there.
Yeah, because I think that this one's the flight over Antarctica is obviously a lot cheaper, and so I'd like to be able to present that to people who obviously are complaining it's all too expensive. So
I like it. I like the idea.
yeah. Okay, I got a few dumb questions. So, are you going to make sure that you send out the dialects if none of the flat earthers come? Because you've got 24 to list, and if none of them come, have you got speed dial of the dialects?
Yes, and considering he's been so adamant, you can listen to his own words. He says there is never a 24-hour sun in Antarctica on any day of the year. And so to me, this is perfect. Let's go test your claim.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you might have semi-answered this question before, but have you heard any word from Caleb at all? And do you think that there's a pair of ski goggles which are tinted enough for us to not see his crazy eyes?
So what's interesting about Caleb is that he really...
But to create heart attacks, or is that just a myth?
No, I don't have that power, and I'm glad I don't have that power.
Yeah, it's a weird one how someone can think that you can be heart attacked, but yeah. Now these are pretty small tents, I believe. From what I saw from Where's Wally, there's 2 beds in there. Obviously, there's a lot of worry about putting a flat earther in the same room as a globe earther, but yeah, obviously, there's going to be other explorers that are all going to be globes. I'm assuming they're going to have to keep that tight knit down there.
Yeah, I have no issues staying in a tent with a flat earther, but if they have an issue, it won't be a big deal. They could either stay with another flat earther or stay with someone who doesn't know who they are.
Yeah, that's an acceptable option if they just wanted to zip it and go to bed and stuff like that. That's fine. Now I got a really strange question here. So obviously you're taking on the flat Earth community now, and there's no doubt that the other annoying community out there is the moon landing community. Like in 4 or 10 years or something like that.
The moon landing community. Is there such a thing? Must have missed out on that. I don't think there's much more for us to see in this video. He's not really asking any questions. I've got no fear of doubling up this guy's questions. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. What's everyone else think?
I don't have time to tell you all of my thoughts on this scenario. I'm sorry, Bev.
It's weird because I know that no flat earthers are really going to be watching us anyway. So, and what it seems to me is, or the way I've seen it, is that flat earthers are either dismissing what would happen anyway and not saying anything, or they're saying that they're gearing up basically for seeing light in the sky for 24 hours, but then saying that wouldn't prove anything anyway, or using the coffee cup caustic thing and saying that's why there would be 24-hour sun. So I don't know how the globe guys are going to deal with it. Would they be both the same? Or would it be different? I don't know. Yeah, Constance, I think you might be right. They were talking about a no moon landing club. But I don't even know whether that thing's in a community, is it? Just seems like a weird thing. I've never come across any communities like that. I mean, I guess there's all sorts of communities. Seems a bit specific. But I guess we can't really say anything because we're a bit specific about what we do. Although logic is a bit all-encompassing. But I suppose you could say it's specific for what we do. We don't really know what you are or not, Zep-Teppy. It can be whatever you want. But I noticed that there isn't many people that are coming forward with anything really about this. I mean, Will Duffy's obviously made this final experiment with the understanding that to him, it is a final experiment. I mean, he's the guy that's got it in his head that there's going to be light in the sky. And that means to him, 'tis globe. He's worked that one out for himself. Now, I think, as are most of these things, they're built upon a false dichotomy. I would say that Will thinks it's a final experiment because some flat earther has said that it'll be different. It goes around the North Pole. And he's been told that by the flat earthers. So I don't know. Don't know what people are meant to think. Oh, happy birthday for yesterday, Paige. Everyone say happy birthday to Paige for yesterday.
Happy birthday, Paige.
She was probably 21 or something like that. I don't know what the general age now is.
Happy birthday, Paige.
Happy birthday, Paige, for today and yesterday.
Happy birthday, Paige.
Probably all weekend.
Hey, yo, happy birthday to Paige from Turn Up the Truth. Hey, yo!
It's rather energetic. I don't know. I don't know what this is meant to prove. I don't get it. I don't get the false dichotomy thing that he's been talking about, because seeing the light in the sky or not seeing the light in the sky does seem like a true dichotomy to me. It's just what you imply that means within your model of understanding. But like we say, we can already prove both of the models false. So to us, to me, I can't see what they're going on about. All you're doing really is documenting what happens in reality. which I'm hoping that's what comes out of this. But it's not going to be any different than what happens in reality. I think you have to have a model in order to start this idea off. Yeah, I get that, Zet Tepe. Yeah, I get the idea that the flat earthers have said that the sun goes on east-west circles. But the very fact that you're making east-west circles means that north, south, east and west can't be perpendicular. But they are. So that surely must falsify the circles, right? You'd think so anyway, wouldn't you? You'd think that you wouldn't really need to go to spend £100,000 to be able to falsify a geometric misunderstanding. Yeah, I get it, Jep. East-west cannot be a circle because then north, south, east and west can't be perpendicular. That's pretty simple. And north, south, east and west are perpendicular. So I'd say the flat earthers have got a problem. In fact, we've been telling the flat earthers that they've got a problem for a bit. And the flat earth response has been to ban me. I'm not too sure whether that's going to solve their problem or not, but it appears that Will Duffy has found a much better public way of exposing the geometric problems that flat earthers seem to have. But I mean, who's best? They just banned me, but I don't know whether they can do that to Will Duffy. I mean, they can probably just not go. Maybe that'd be telling him. Jaren and Will and Witsit could be just attempting to take that guy's seat off him. See whether they can literally both get a holiday, all expenses paid. Bros day out or weekend out. We were saying, Paige and Eric, imagine how many Realising Euclid tests you could do for that amount of money. Imagine how many people you could get out there doing it. I suppose, yeah, the book. Taking a flat earther to Antarctica. Do you reckon it's that big? I don't think so. I don't think people outside of this arena, don't think they give a shit. Really. I mean, as we would be able to say, like, we think, I say, I can prove it's a false dichotomy. Would seeing the light in the sky make a difference to that proof? I doubt it. Not.
I don't know,
me, it
but
wouldn't.
I read a lot and I'm never going to be bored enough to read whatever book will come out of this.
Yeah, I'm not really into those sort of books anymore. Ever since I found the Euclid's Elements, all of the other books seem a little bit. Oh, he's planning on making a book then. Everybody, Zepp's got it sorted out. It's like he's going to write a book. So he'll make his 100 grand back. Does seem like a pretty good money making opportunity, this. I don't know why nobody else has ever thought of it.
What, you mean, why has no one else ever thought of getting people to pay for finding out truth or whatever?
Somebody taking flat
weird
earthers
thing
to Antarctica, paying to take flat earthers to Antarctica.
Yeah. Oh, this is also the flat earthers that are going and the globers all make a living off of this narrative, this topic. Anyway, they have their own YouTube shows. They make plenty of money. And I mean, this guy, this 100 grand, has he funded this from somewhere? Are people funding it?
He's a trader.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he says no. He says he's like he's an ex-trader. And he's done well with money. So
he's got a spare 100 grand.
Well, he's got to have more than that, because if all you had was a spare 100 grand, you wouldn't be doing this with. So he must have more than that, right? He's got like 100 grand pocket change.
Yeah, because obviously he's fed like all the homeless in his area. They've all got houses, all of that stuff. Probably all sorted where he lives, right?
Oh, yeah, obviously. This is, he must have millions, right? For him to just be able to pocket change 100 grand.
Yeah, I think it's a business opportunity. I think that he knows the guy he was talking to. I think they know each other. He's in the other guy's in a Bitcoin investment kind of world. Pretty sure they know each other because that's what Will Duffy does, invest in. I don't know how well, obviously he's done quite well if he's got that spare money. That was insurance maybe he was dealing with. But yeah.
Level bastards saying that there's maybe some solar panel sustainable by design connection.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that'd be interesting. Wonder when they were going to pop up in the arena. Other than,
I think they should just measure an angle while they're there.
Yeah.
If they take a sextant and measure an angle to the light in the sky, then
done.
Yeah, flat Earth confirmed. I mean, that's all they've got to do.
Nathan just get an angle.
Sort that one out.
Yeah, just need the angle. That's it.
Even if the sun is in the sky for 24 hours, just measure an angle to it. Flat Earther win. Nathan Oakley. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's going to be the final experiment for Will. Probably from all of the Globe guys, right? I think they would probably agree, wouldn't they? Because, I mean, they're on his team. But they wouldn't agree just because he's on their team. I think they would. I mean, like the flat earthers are trying to justify, the light being in the sky. Can the globe earthers justify the light? Well, the sky being lit up, but no sun.
Well, that kind of relies on a dome or a container of some sort, doesn't it? For this coffee cup caustic kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's
it
what
needs
I'm
to
saying.
be wrapping itself around something.
Does the Globe Earth team have a justification of like seeing the light in the sky? The sky lit up,
but no
for
sun.
20, but no sun. Yeah, have they sort of worked out a way to justify that? Because the flat earthers obviously have found a way to justify that within their model. I'm just finding, seeing if there's a way for some sort of a stalemate to be, because that way then everyone could go on the trip and come back happy, and the false dichotomy would still be alive, wouldn't
Carry
it?
on, yeah. Yeah, just be arguing over the videos for 4 years. Or who couldn't get out of the tent or something.
So, that relies on the dome, doesn't it? Paige saying the globe doesn't have the dome to rely on for the light. So that would be proof of container. But there are people like Nathan Oakley that don't want to say that, do they? I mean, they have arguments on that already.
Well, yeah, he's rehashed about his video from I don't know how many years ago, a few years ago, that his interview with somebody down there who said there wasn't a 24-hour sun. So that's his contribution to it. I've already proved that. I interviewed the guy who worked down there. So
yeah, Nathan Oakley's already done it, so they can't trust the guy that Nathan Oakley talked to. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask him, about that. I guess some people are trusted and some aren't. I wonder whether, have the flat earthers been, been given the thumbs up to certain flat earthers? Or are there just some flat earthers that are considered beyond reproach, is it? Like, I wouldn't know. I mean, I know from being in this arena that there's a lot of people that lie to you. I mean, a lot. I'd say that many, really, that you want to be right, don't really trust anyone. But make sure that you have some way of working stuff out for yourself, because, I mean, you're going to have to rely on other people to tell you some things if you can't work stuff out for yourself. But is there a flat earth hierarchy of people that flat earthers trust? Because it does seem like this thing is, it has the ability to split the flat earth camps further. Seems to me like it's meant to put division between the flat earthers and the I don't know what to call them, the grifters, the flat earth grifters, the ones that rely on the money from the grift, which I may be part of soon too. I may be part of that grift. People relying on making money out of doing YouTube content stuff. Is there someone? I know I wouldn't be trusted. Everybody calls me a liar, so that wouldn't matter about me at all. I wouldn't be going anyway, but I'm not even on the list, so I can't be a flat earther or a globe earther. Woo.
I don't know if there is one individual or even one individual celebrity, FE celebrity who, has got the support of everybody pretty much. Because there is a lot of division in the camps between one and another, and the speculations that each of them have for sale already. Yeah, so Whitsitt and Jeren aren't going to be proof for everybody. They aren't going to be trusted necessarily. Well, they aren't.
Well, they, to the amount of followers they have, they're obviously trusted by someone.
Yeah, but I mean, there isn't one. It's like Dave McKeegan. Is he the best Globe
It does seem
representative?
like everyone from the Globe is gonna. Well, the Globe has a dogma, doesn't it? That everyone has to go along with anyway. So they've got their model dictates what they're gonna see, and that everyone has to go along with that. That's a given, isn't it? But the flat Earth is a little bit different. It's a different camp, isn't it?
Yep, and I don't know what evidence there might be, that's proof enough for anybody. I mean, already talking, that
As
it's not going
to. In my opinion, I just have to say it's not a globe. But you guys keep saying tis globe.
Tis globe.
But I still love you guys.
The globe is just a model that you have in your mind, Rob, of what you imagine reality to be.
I meant sphere. But we could say tis globe because the globe is a non-geometric. I can't remember your quote, but it was funny.
Well, I reckon.
From the website.
See, I'm talking about the people that aren't in this arena, right? The ones that he's doing this final experiment. Now, there's a load of people out there that are completely unaware of the false dichotomy or the contradictions that you have to hold in order to take on either one of these models. What it seems to be is that Will Duffy is eliminating one of the options in his own mind, which is going to leave only one option for everyone else. Even the people that are unaware of what's going on in the first place. He says, don't think there's a single person that the whole FE community trusts. Some like Nathan, some don't like Whitsitt, some don't. Some like Nathan, some don't. Some like Whitsitt, some don't. That's the tough part. Because it's been set up that, I know from my own personal experience that people just label you a liar. It doesn't matter what you say from that point out. Even if it's a basic thing about a proof of a straight line, nobody's going to believe you because you've been labelled a liar. And they've sort of set that up for the flat earthers too. I mean, they've spent years doing it. So I don't know what they're meant to think anyway. Will Duffy was saying that he was the one that was going to have a word with Dave McKeegan and tell him if he couldn't see the sun. He was the one that was going to tell Jeren. But if he doesn't go, who's going to do that? It's all a little bit weird. My lad said he'd want to go. I would imagine there's a lot of people that do want to go, because there's a lot of people that, you know, imagine that they're going to see whatever they're going to see. The question, Balance Tree says, my question is, how is the globe claims of sun setting? How is that? Is the globe claims of a sun setting allow the same 24-hour sun? Also the same. I don't know what that means, Balance Trees. My question is, how is the globe claims of sun setting also the same as 24-hour sun? I don't know whether the globe will claim that the sun sets. I think the model dictates it wouldn't. I don't know who Infecto is, Ian.
Do you guys remember the flat Earth debate parody called Globe Earth Dictate?
Yes. It's like a college project or something from a drama
you said
student.
dictate, so it just made me think about that, and I had a quick little chuckle inside my head.
Well, I guess we're going to be back tomorrow night making some more music.
What would do it for Rob? What would settle it for Rob? What would you have to see Rob to say, gee, it's not a flat Earth? Final.
Yeah, what's your
So if
final
anything?
experiment? Is the one, Rob? Rob, do you have your own final experiment? Because this guy's obviously conjured this one up, you know, of his own making.
No, I don't.
So what is that? You don't, because you don't think there's anything that could prove flat Earth?
It's not actually flat, though.
Well, yeah. So then, would disproving the globe prove flat Earth?
Yeah, that works for me with the water level.
Just disproving the globe, then that's enough to prove the flat.
So what would disprove the globe then in the final experiment for you, Rob? Is there something that would be definitive for you?
I already said I'm just a flat earther as its subject matter. Hang on, my brother's here.
Oh,
you're just our only flat Earth representative we could ask.
That's right, and it's actually that guy there that just walked away. My little brother that got this all started for me 10 years ago. It's just funny. But anyway, sorry I derailed that with my brother.
No, well, I mean, you get around the flat Earth rooms quite a bit, and I thought you might have picked up a general consensus of what the flat Earthers were.
No, they don't
we're thinking about.
because as far as flat earthers go that I know of, the water and the dirt is Earth. So when you see a horizon, that's still Earth to a flat earther. If you see a horizon over water, that's still Earth with a capital E. I'm really sorry. I'm still not done work, but I keep stopping to talk to you guys. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, I haven't got my work done because I spend too much time talking to people or listening.
I know. I'm addicted to you guys.
Peter the Globe Prover's talking to me on Twitter.
Ooh.
Oh.
He returns.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll go.
It's because he's replying to the
I
T
think he
Slow.
tried to Facebook friend me. Troll.
Well, as yet, I'm not aware of any globe earther that has a proof of his globe like we have. I've not seen any globe earther that has a website with the proofs of globe on it. And I've not seen any globe earther that's made a song about a globe proof either. That's completely exclusive to us here at On the Level. I know, thank you. So it looks like they've got a little bit of competition, the Globe guys. I mean, will seeing a light in the sky be able to top the dogmatic globe proofs that we've got? I don't know. Lamal's asking that, Rob, is water and earth the same element then?
That was a question for me. What?
Yeah, he's asking, so water and earth are the same element? Because I think you said that they were both earth. Water and earth was earth. Did you say that? I don't know.
I think he said flat earthers consider everything the big E.
Yeah. I think that is the one of the problems, the big E, and people not being able to understand that earth is separate from water. It's a separate identity. But put big E on it, then you can imagine it as being everything. And that's a monadic belief, I think. Bastard's got all of the quotes. Looking at spherical triangles. You know, they still don't realise that the 540-degree triangle is a great circle. And we've got the proof of that. Actual mathematical proof from the globe. From Peter. But I mean, it's a similar thing that PhD Tony did. And like most of the globe guys fall into that trap. It's quite fun. Right, so I think we're going to end it. We'll probably end with a Buster tune, or like a real Buster tune. Does anyone want to pick a real Buster tune. Otherwise, I'll just I'll find one of the good ones. The mixes. Anyone got any? I'm gonna do ontology. The Professor. Okay, so we're going to be back tomorrow. Get your friends in and they can come and have a chat about it. I would like to hear some questions that people might want to ask Will. Because I think I'm going to be talking to him next week. So if we can start setting that up, have a think about it. What does it prove? Yeah, Real Buster. We are playing Real Buster. This is the Professor. Ontology. We like to do a bit of logic. I'm hoping that, these pastors from America, I'm hoping that they're going to see, an idea about logic and understanding. Maybe Will's never even seen the false dichotomy. Maybe it's never been presented to him. I might be able to do that. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. And we're going to leave you with World Famous Buster and the Professor at Hillsdale College. See you tomorrow.
Let me give you an analogy. And I already have the idea in my mind. Existence must be necessary to the idea.
Advanced simplicity takes hold. You'll find truth from things of old.
I have an idea in my mind. I have an idea in my mind that a triangle exists. The idea in my mind. But the angles of a triangle do not add up to 180 degrees. Think about it. I have an idea in my mind that a triangle exists. But the angles of a triangle do not add up to 180 degrees. What's the conclusion?
We are on the road, suspending judgment until the truth is known.
Think about it.
You will find peace within, in the midst of all these troubled souls.
I have an idea in my mind. What's the conclusion? You don't know what a triangle is. Or you're flat out contradicting yourself.
Advanced simplicity takes hold.
You're flat out contradicting yourself.
You'll find truth from things of old.
You don't know what a triangle is. Or you're flat out contradicting yourself. Just as it is necessary for a triangle to have 180 degrees. What's the conclusion? You don't know what a triangle is. Or you're flat out contradicting yourself. Think about it. It is necessary for a triangle to have 180 degrees. That is a necessary property of triangularity, triangleness.
We are on the road, suspending judgment until the truth is known.
Think about it.
You will find peace within, in the midst of all these troubled souls.
Therefore, the fool is in a self-contradiction. He violates the principle of non-contradiction.
There's no end game in mind.
Therefore, the fool
It's only the truth that we seek to find.
violates the principle of non-contradiction.
There's no end game in mind.
The fool,
It's only the truth that we seek to find.
therefore, the fool is in a self-contradiction. He violates the principle of non-contradiction. He simultaneously says, I have an idea of God, and then I don't have an idea of God.
Everyone must see it for themselves. The truth is there for you to find.